or filler, the wood filler.
This might be my favorite part of this entire project. So this is a new series called Assignment in Healing Spaces. I'm doing my staircase. I'm working on my staircase today, and I'm trying to get it done in 1 hour, 60 minutes, because everyone is away, so no one will be walking up and down the steps, and they'll have at least 3 to 4 hours to dry before they come back home. So let's see if I can get this done. So I'm gonna walk up and down the steps and check the edges of each step. The first 2 days was about me filling in these large gaps, and I had a lot of challenges, but I finally figured out what worked. And in the process, because I wanted to see how it would all come together at the end. So last night I did 2.5 steps. I painted 2.5 steps to see how it would look, and I think I'm gonna really like the outcome. Okay, so this is the preview, I guess, of what it's going to look like. Of course, there's going to be more coats added, but I just want to give you a look of the sides that I did, the large gaps on the side of the steps. Now on the right side, like I mentioned before, the gaps were much smaller, but on the left side, you can see the gaps are much wider, a little bit bigger than my finger. And again, I used plastic wood, which was to me the most durable. It actually dried really hard, whereas wood filler was a lot softer. And then these are the large gaps across the back of the 4 steps that I talked about. And so that's just a final look before I start to paint them with the first coat. So I'm gonna keep going and see how much I can get done, like I said. And I have a few simple supplies. I have a wet old t-shirt that I'm using. I have, instead of using a hand sander to keep from all of the dust, because I'm not able to like just close off this area right now. Of course, it would have been easier before we moved in, but now that we're living here, I don't want to create a lot of sand dust. So I'm using just some sandpaper and a sander, like a hand sander, not an electrical one. I'll show you. So I'm going to go up each step and just check to see if it's ready. Hopefully all of them will be ready. And when I say ready, I mean like it looks nice and even. If not, then I'm going to have to do a little bit sanded. I'll skip that step, and I'm just going to focus on the steps that are ready. I'm using a paintbrush just to get into the edges and make sure I get all the sand dust out of the edge. Clearing dust is a simple act, but energetically it's powerful. Dust holds stagnation. It collects in corners, on surfaces, and even forgotten spaces in our lives. When we wipe it away, we're not just clearing, we're releasing old and stuck energy, making space for lightness, clarity, and flow. All of this preparation is where transformation truly begins. Sanding away the rough edges creates a surface that's smooth and ready to receive something new. It's the same in our homes and in our lives, when we often need to strip back layers of what no longer serves us before fresh energy can take root. 220 and 60. As I begin painting each rising tread, I see this as more than just a coat of paint. It's layers of intention. In Feng Shui, the staircase represents movement and how energy rises and falls in the home. This fresh paint here is like inviting vitality to flow more freely in our space. With every stroke, I could feel the sense of peace and calmness come over me. The act of painting is extremely meditative. Long, steady strokes, building something new with patience. It reminds me that transformation doesn't happen all at once. It's in the layers, in the repetition, and the willingness to return to the task with presence. Even when there's so much resistance, you can start to feel the heaviness lift and open up the space in between all the emotions that comes with living in a place that no longer serves you or represents how you feel or where you are at that current time. As you're watching this transformation, is there anything in your home that could use a little clearing or even painting to allow for a shift in energy? Sometimes it's as simple as a cluttered entryway with shoes and bags piled up, or marks and scuffs on a wall that every time you see it, it reminds you of how it needs a little attention. Please don't underestimate the power of small changes. Each step, literally and figuratively, builds toward a bigger transformation. And that's true, not only in design, but in how we shift the energy of our lives. That's a wrap. Day 4 is completed, and these stairs already feel so much lighter, airy, and brighter. It's amazing what a little prep, some paint, and lots of intention can do, not just for this space, but for my entire home. I'd love to hear from you. What's one space or project you've done that completely shifted the way your space felt? Share it in the comments. I get so inspired by your ideas. And if you're following along with Healing Spaces series, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next step of this transformation. There's so much more to come. Thanks for watching.